She went kayaking with friends on a Saturday morning, a lovely July day in 2013. And afterwards, for some reason, she swallowed half a gram of white powder, and it turned out to be ecstasy, MDMA powder that was 91% pure. Within 3 hours of taking it, she was dead.
So that was actually an incredibly powerful dose.
Yes, much higher than the normal street level. So, yeah.
I think possibly the chances are it would have killed more than several people.
Yeah, I've been told it was enough for 5 to 10 people in one go.
So, when did you find out what happened?
Well, it was very quickly we got told drugs were involved, and in respect of the dosage and so on, that wasn't till a few days afterwards. But initially, yeah, we were told instantly, she's taken something. And that's
she
all
was
we
with
knew.
friends at the time?
Yeah, she was with friends, but she was the only one who took it, yeah.
So, then, after the funeral and a few months, you were going through the family computer, and what did you find?
I found her Google history, and she'd been looking for ways to take ecstasy safely.
Because she was a clever girl, and she wanted to make sure that she wouldn't overdose.
Yeah, she was at that stage in her adolescence, and she did want to try things. She was a curious child, and I encouraged her curiosity in life, as you do as a parent, as much as you can. But yeah, that was a moment when I realised the situation was that she got lost in the detail and made a great mistake.
She had taken ecstasy before, and I think, as any mother would, you'd had a kind of contretemps about it.
Yes, I was one of those parents. I just said, why would you do this? And she said, it makes me feel happy. And I said, well, aren't you happy anyway? She said, yes, but it makes me feel even happier. And I couldn't believe that. So I just said, don't do it, don't do it. You know, I didn't want her to do it. I said to just say no, and we know what went on to happen.
And after that terrible tragedy occurred, you then started a campaign for legalisation. But I want to go back and ask, before what happened, were you for the legalisation or even the decriminalisation of drugs?
I didn't think it related to families like mine. I was blissfully ignorant, but I've learnt the hard way, and I've learnt very, very quickly what I really should have known then.
But what do you say to people who say, well, if you legalise drugs for the over 18s, it's still going to be the teenagers who, even though drink's legal, who experiment, take too much, and indeed get themselves into terrible trouble? Well,
had Martha taken something that was licensed and regulated with a label, with ingredients and dosage information, she wouldn't have taken enough for 5 to 10 people, and I believe she'd still be here today. So you don't want to think of your child taking drugs, but if they're going to do it anyway, I would rather they got something from a licensed route than from a black market.
So what do you think of the whole just say no?
It's out of date, it doesn't work. I said just say no instead of telling Martha what she needed to know based on what she was doing. And, we need to engage with this properly. We need to be realistic about modern society.
But some, I suppose, would say that the just say no works for some kids, and some just say no to, heavy alcohol use works as well, and it's legalised. So actually, does there need to be a clearer message anyway about drugs, about what drugs are, about handling drugs and so forth?
The only way we can do that is to get it out into the open, to shed complete light on the truth of drugs, the good, the bad and the ugly. And the only way we can get rid of the black market is by a legal regulatory model, which means you can fully educate people. They know the parameters, they know what it contains and so on. You can't educate at the moment on that might have this in it, or it might, in Martha's case, she had no idea it was 91% pure.
There will be other parents who will take a diametrically opposed view opposite view to you, because they think that actually nothing that would be further from what they would want to see that legalised drugs were on the streets.
Well, I wish I had the luxury of still being a parent, and on their behalf, I'm talking about this subject so they don't become me.